minute to it. It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on WMAY, and President Joe Biden taking to Twitter yesterday, sharing his thoughts about gun control efforts and what exactly is going to happen at the U.S. Congress. If we look at his latest, you've got the president essentially signaling that indeed he wants to have a, quote, assault weapons ban passed in the United States, and saying that this is obviously something he feels is necessary to happen for the safety of our streets. But, you've got a variety of other different types of, things happening in courts where it doesn't look like it's going to happen, at least when it comes to the courts who are evaluating the Bruen versus or the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruen from last summer. But President Joe Biden says it's within Congress's power to require safe storage of firearms, meaning requiring that you get some kind of safe. And listen, I think any responsible gun owner has a safe where they put their weapons and they put their firearms and they put their other valuables in that safe that might have easy access to them and them alone. Obviously, if you don't do that, it's encouraged that you do. But Biden wants Congress to require that. He also wants to require background checks for all gun sales. He wants to eliminate manufacturers' immunity from liability, which is an interesting sticking point because what they're looking to do is they're looking to try to hold firearms manufacturers accountable for the actions of others. That would be going to, the manufacturer of the van that drove through that crowd in Minneapolis. Was it I can't remember exactly where it was, but that Christmas Day parade, if you recall, Kenosha, Wisconsin. There it goes. And the driver of that vehicle is the one responsible, not necessarily the vehicle. Actually, not necessarily. The vehicle wasn't responsible at all. It's an inanimate object until somebody pushes the gas. So it's interesting to see that's a continued push from at least even the president and other gun control advocates. But also you've got the president saying that he wants a ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, and he says that should happen without delay. But we've seen now in Illinois that implementation of a ban on semi-automatic weapons and magazines over certain capacities, and the challenges continue to stack up in state and federal court. So you've got others, marching onto Congress. The Chicago Sun-Times reporting, spurred by Highland Park, other mass shootings, marchers press Congress for assault weapons ban. So obviously there's a continued push for more regulations, but refer back to the Second Amendment, a well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So in Illinois, we have the ban on certain weapons in place. However, it's not being enforced against thousands of individuals and gun stores after temporary restraining orders were achieved in state-level cases. And in that state-level lawsuit status, you've got 3 that are in Effingham County. We talked with Tom DeVore yesterday. He's going to have a hearing in early May to go over discovery that he's looking to maintain and collect in an effort to then take this to further proceedings in court. But you also have the Macon County case from State Representative Dan Calkins, where there were questions there, now in the Illinois Supreme Court, about the judicial integrity of the court, with 2 justices having gotten $1 million each. We went over this yesterday. Those justices denied a recusal motion. But you also have in the Illinois Supreme Court, the briefings are due here, and you've got reply briefs that are due April 27th. All right, so April 27th. A little less than, around 9 days from now, you'll have the defendants and the appellants file their briefs, and we'll see what ultimately they have to say after the plaintiffs, they filed their briefs on April 13th, just a few days ago. But they're going to hear that case in the Illinois Supreme Court in mid-May. So that's the state-level cases, federal cases. You've got us all awaiting to see what Southern District of Illinois Judge Stephen McGlynn rules on a preliminary injunction motion in the Southern District, where there are 4 consolidated cases challenging Illinois Illinois' gun ban. But that's in the Southern District. In the Northern District, there are multiple cases, and I'm pulling this from the Bevis case that was in Naperville, where they originally in November challenged Naperville's gun ban, but then after the state enacted its gun ban, the plaintiffs in that case, they modified their case to wrap in the state ban and challenge that. But in the Northern District, according to court filings, there are 4 cases in front of 4 different judges considering the same essential question of law, whether in light of the Supreme Court's decision in New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin, governments may lawfully ban the possession or sale of, quote, assault weapons. The 4 actions are Vermontis versus Cook County, pending before Chief case. You've got another that's... Goldman versus the city of Highland Park. That's pending before another case. Bevis versus the city of Naperville. That's pending before another court. And then Herrera v. Raul. That's pending before another court as well. So they lay out, at least the defendants here, they lay out for these reasons, they want to take Highland Park's motion and do a consolidation of sorts to make the court's time more efficient and to avoid the risk of inconsistent rulings and piecemeal appeals. So they say because of the court's recent ruling, and this was March 22nd when this was filed in the Naperville case, because this court's recent ruling in Naperville, which the Northern District courts did rule for Naperville in that challenge, and it was appealed to the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals, and goes on to talk about how there are other cases about this in the Seventh Circuit. Highland Park suggests supplemental brief that the Highland Park case should be handled by whichever judge can most expeditiously decide the preliminary injunction motion that is now fully briefed and pending in the Highland Park case. So they're looking for some kind of judicial economy here and trying to wrap these cases together. So I just wanted to go over a little bit of kind of where we're at with the state and federal cases. And it's not just the Southern District we're awaiting a preliminary injunction on 4 consolidated cases that could go to the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals. You've also got several Northern District cases, one in the the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeals in federal court. So a lay of the land, we'll keep track of it all, I promise, here with Springfield's Morning News on